Eagles, Panthers.
There you go. Get it all covered.
Lions, Tigers, Bears.
Did you feel you just had no choice but to cancel this first day? And how do you go about making up for that day in the schedule?
Well, I think you can, first of all, the second part, you can take Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you can absorb almost everything you need to absorb into those 3 days. So we've already know that is where we're going right now. I don't have the final schedule. The staff's working on that. I'll meet with them in a few minutes or a couple hours. So I'll get the detail on where we're going on that. But as far as why this happened, we got to a place yesterday where the emergency services could not guarantee that the buses coming out of Clearwater and St. Pete could get across these bridges in a safe way, depending on how big, how high the wind gusts were. The second thing was the Secret Service started pulling the tents down because they were worried about that, which meant that the entrances would be limited in the front of the forum, which then meant that the guests and all of you and others would be waiting out in a 40-mile-an-hour rain, perhaps, for an hour. And then the other thing is, if you fill this stadium, and then you get to a place where things deteriorate on Monday, and then what do you do? So, I mean, it's a simple decision. You just cancel Monday, and you try to absorb what you can on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Along those lines, this storm now looks like it could be fairly significant hit the Gulf Coast. What's the tone of the campaign? Any changes for the tone of the convention, given that it's going to look like, a celebration when, much of the Gulf Coast could really be in bad shape in a couple of days?
Well, I mean, our message is going to be the same. I mean, our goal is to tell the Mitt Romney story. Tell the story about the American dream, about a guy who gave away his father's inheritance, who everything he touched was successful. We're still going to do that. I mean, that's a respectable tone. I will say, though, that we know that we're going to be nimble in case we have to be. We've already proven that we can make quick decisions if we need to. We've got contingency plans if we need them. But right now, I mean, we're full steam ahead, and for our delegates and guests, we want you to be here so that we can gavel down on Tuesday.
So still a celebratory feel.
Well, I mean, I think we have a lot to fight for in this country. I believe liberty and freedom hangs in the balance, and I think it's something that's worth fighting for. And this is the kickoff of that fight that we need to have here in America.
Is Monday the only casualty? Are you contemplating any other changes, say Tuesday?
As of now, and I'm just telling you, as of now, we have no plans of doing anything but coming here on Tuesday at 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, whatever time we start, a full day on Tuesday, and then a Wednesday, Thursday session.
Given the likelihood that there would be a hurricane at the height of hurricane season in Tampa, would you have picked Tampa had you had that decision?
Well, you know what, that's a good question, but I will tell you that when you really peel it back a little bit, if that were the measure, then we shouldn't have went to Miami, New Orleans, Houston, New York. Could be in a tough place. I just don't buy that. I just think this is a great place to be. We're happy to be here. We're happy we picked Tampa, and Florida. It's an important state for us, so I think there's a lot of benefits to us being here.
Charlie Crist today endorsed
our favorite Democrat,
President Obama. What's your reaction to that?
He's a Democrat. Of course, he endorsed Barack Obama. He's got no future because he's been endorsing Obama, hugging Obama. Him coming back to Obama this time around just solidifies what he was running against in the primary against Marco Rubio, when he was trying to disavow his his admiration of Barack Obama.
Let me ask right now as we speak. There's about 7,500 people at the University of South Florida rallying for Ron Paul. What's the move going forward? Are we going to see anybody get to speak on his behalf? Any sort of tribute to the guy that really came in second in this race?
Well, first of all, I don't think Ron Paul's there. I'm not sure. I don't think he is. But secondly,
well, as far as I meant, not letting go of any of his delegates.
Okay, we're going to do a tribute to Ron Paul. Rand Paul is going to speak up on the stage. We get along great with Ron Paul and his campaign. One of his campaign managers, a friend of mine from Wisconsin. So we don't, this rift is just not. It's just not there. I mean, it's people ask about it, but the fact of the matter is, whether you're for Ron Paul, Republican, Tea Party, wherever you fit in, liberty and freedom, the Bill of Rights, our Constitution, these are the things that we're fighting for, and he's part of it.
And Mr. Chairman, just really quick,
Okay,
why
one
do you
more.
think Hispanic numbers are so bad? The poll numbers are so bad among Hispanics. What's not working in your party?
Well, I think they're getting better, but I would say that if you look at where we're at on top line messaging, at the very least, you'd have to say that in 2012, I mean, as it pertains to Hispanic voters, in 2012, our messaging today is a lot better than it was in 08. Secondly, I think that we've got much better messengers today, and you're going to see all of this happening. We've got much better messengers today than we'd had 4 years ago. We've done a lousy job bragging about the success that we've had. I mean, look at Marco Rubio, Susana Martinez, Luis Fortunio, Brian Sandoval. I mean, we've had success. And the last piece of it, well, two more things. So, the next thing is that this president lied to Hispanics in this country. He told them that if he was elected, he was going to deliver this DREAM Act and pathway. What did he do? He had 60 votes in the Senate. He had a supermajority in Congress. What did he deliver? The same thing he delivered to all of us. Nothing. And so the last thing I would say is, as a party, we have to do a good job of getting the word out in Kissimmee, in Hialeah, in Denver, in Las Vegas, and we're taking the steps to hire a full-blown staff to do it, to get absentee ballot program going in those places, have accountability on the ground, and we're doing that. But anyway, so I appreciate the question.